today's first topic. This was a take I don't think I've ever heard people express. And so I want your
take you haven't heard.
And definitely you don't hear online.
The more attractive a guy is, the less women he actually pulls. And it sounds crazy, but hear me out. Me, myself, I hear it all the time. Oh, I'm sure your DMs are just flooded with every woman you want to talk to. Or I'm sure you pull every woman you want, this, that, and the third. And a lot of times it's the total opposite. Don't get me wrong. I have my moments. But I'm very introverted and I'm shy by nature. So I really just kind of stay to myself.
Pause. It's not the fact that you're attractive or not. It's the fact that you stay to yourself. So it has nothing to do with the fact that attractive people pull less. Is that, yeah, maybe, but you also are an introvert. You stay to yourself. You're shy. Pulling people is not just like they come up to you. It's like your chances of getting. You're not even going out there and trying. On the basis that you're attractive and you try less because you're attractive and because you're shy and because you're introverted and because you don't go out there, then yes. But I wouldn't point it to the fact that it's because you're more attractive. You do not go out there. If you would go out there, you would pull more.
But also because of my demeanor, I'm 6'4", I'm very big and muscular. So my demeanor can come across as very arrogant and cocky. I've had women come up to me and say, yo, I've noticed you for so long, or I would have talked to you, but personally, I just thought you were very conceited or to yourself, so I didn't bother. And I don't really say anything unless I really know that the vibe is mutual. So sometimes your biggest assets can work against you.
I get the fact that, but yeah, you did say yourself that you don't go out there and you don't talk to people. You're introverted, you stay to yourself, you're shy. So yeah. If you would go out there and try, you would pull. And you also said that you don't go out there and everything and stuff. But people do come up to you. If you ugly, people are not going to come up to you.
So, that's one of the hottest men. I was playing. As a sex symbol, I think for me, I can relate, to being 6'4" and muscular and really wide. But I often, when we talk about dating, one of the dumbest comments I'll see from people when we talk about dating is, oh, I don't care what you guys have to say, Ab and Preach. Social media people, you make 6 figures. Like, yeah, of course you don't struggle. And it's like some of the most brain dead takes ever, because it's like, nigga, do you know I had a life before I did YouTube? Like, do you guys think I just was born, turned 18, and I'm an influencer? Like, I've lived vast majority of my life with zero social media recognition. I worked regular dead-end jobs. In fact, most of you motherfuckers got on the job market and made twice what I was making for most of my adult life, okay? So I don't want to hear it about having money or nothing. Like, everything or vast majority of stuff that informed my being was done well before. Because I can say we didn't pop off till the pandemic happened, which is 2020. I was 30. Before that year, I was making 20 to 25K a year.
I was 38.
It's like I had zero to like very little social media presence, right? And it's like people like don't get it. It's like, do you understand why this floor sounds the way that it does?
Why? Why does it sound
It's because it's all I could afford. And once I started filming, I had to film in my fucking bedroom to make ends meet. Okay.
As a matter of fact, we're still in your bedroom.
That's all this is. It's not some studio. It's nothing fancy. And I say all this to say, people get this perception that as I've become more societally attractive because of the money and status, they think that, oh, you just pull whatever you want, not recognizing it is true that you can pull to some degree more, but it's oftentimes not the kind of attention you want. It's not from the kind of people you even want to date. Because you have to imagine the kind of people who necessarily would start to get really attracted to me because I have status or whatever are not the women that I ever dated before because I didn't have shit then. And it's not necessarily the kind of women I want to date now. Like, listen, if I want to date an influencer, absolutely what this guy's saying is cap. But you understand, I'm not trying to date a YouTuber. I'm not trying to date a girl who's like really after people like that. Sure, does it put me in front of a lot more eyes? Yes, but now you have to add more filters because you're really attracting not the right attention. And people never believe me when I say this. As I got more popular, I dated substantially less.
As you became more popular, you came out also less. You went outside less.
I thought you were saying, and you came out the closet.
No,
okay.
No, that's okay.
Crazy.
But you went more popular, you stayed in more. And I understand, because that was fucking work. If you go out less, you're gonna pull less.
It's
I mean,
not-
that's my mathematics.
Here's the other part of it. It's like it's not like I went out less. It's like your battery's just more drained.
yes.
You know what I mean?
But
not by necessarily by like working more. It's more like my social battery is not what it used to be because it's too much social interaction already with the social media stuff.
you call it that, I call it being old. But keep on going.
Okay, fair. But I know a lot of niggas my age who still at the club all the time. You know what I mean?
How you doing?
And the unemployed.
But I'm not your age.
Fair. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, for me, before I was somebody, I was coming in with a blank slate. But now because I have this perceived status and, perceived attractiveness, what ends up happening is a lot of people immediately assume you're a player. You have bad intentions. You got to rock. Like I've received comments from ladies sometimes. I'm like,
Weird ass.
you are like, especially if you not do anything, it's insulting to. I understand why they get it. I can't be mad at them because I know, like, with the perception, even some of the dumb shit I've said in the past. But you have to understand, I was that person before I had this. Now I can't even do it because I don't even resonate with that stuff anymore. But it's just like so much has changed in that regards that I kind of resonate with what he's saying to a degree. I'm not saying like if I really want to be out there, I wouldn't be able to quote unquote pull. But it's like, what are you pulling?
Yes,
and and a lot of women, I'll tell you this right now. They'll see like I have a social media stuff and like that. They'll never even consider me. A lot of people will see that I have status and all this stuff, and they don't want to. And here's a part of why is because it makes them to some degree not feel secure because they're like, this is the kind of man who more likely to cheat on me. This is the kind of man who more likely to not really be interested in me the right way or spend money. There's a lot of people that are like that. And genuinely speaking, if I'm being honest with you, I probably gravitate more to those types of people because I'm interested in somebody who's in it for the right reasons. Does that make sense?
100%.
So I guess I just want to contextualize. I don't agree with him completely, but I understand to a degree what he's talking about.
What he's talking about is, but he's also selective and also not outside. You just put more context into what he was saying. But if I just I'm just responding to what the more attractive a guy is, the less woman he actually gets. That's not true. Or should I say, there's context to that. And the context is, well, you don't go for anything, for everything. Mm-hmm. You don't go for necessarily the things that are coming out your way. You don't even go outside as much as you used to or try to attempt. Yeah, you're going to pull less, but it has nothing to do with the fact that you're attractive.
It's a catchphrase, right? You can't just look at the main title.
Sure.
So let's contextualize, right?
Sure.
Think about somebody becoming more attractive. Oftentimes, the things that you have to do to get more attractive means you have less opportunities to date. That's also a thing. The more money you want to make, the more you got to work. Less time for dating. I can tell you this right now, as you're changing your life and towards being successful in different ways, whether it be physique or whatever it is, the less time you got to be fucking around. This is why I have a hard time with people sometimes when they say stuff like, if you're ugly, it's a dead end. It's not. People are like, well, but what the do you know? Bro, if I showed you pictures of what I looked like when I was 150 pounds, you know what I'm saying, 6 feet tall, thinnest nigga you could ever see. I've never been an attractive person. In fact, before I did YouTube, you could see how fucking dusty I used to be. And I still pulled more than I do now. Why? Because one, I came in with a blank slate, but also two, I was doing a lot of unemployed behavior. Yeah, listen.
What's unemployed behavior?
You got time to date.
How much? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not because you're that time of day that you're unemployed, but the amount of time that you was dating, you was certainly unemployed.
Okay. No money, no car, no nice place to stay. Nigga, I wasn't good looking either. I didn't have any of these things. Do you know how funny it is to watch me bike to dates? But you see me roll up and take off my helmet? I used to do that all the time.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like,
Now you Uber. Oh.
thank you.
No, just some
Thank you.
Here and then.
Thank you.
Oh, you're good.
I'm never going to sit here and say, oh, it's better to be unattractive than to be attractive. I'm not crazy, okay? And I don't want to make this guy's argument in the most like boneheaded way. But what I'm trying to say is these do come with problems that are very difficult to solve. And depending on what those methods are to solve those problems, you may not want those set of problems. That's why people ask me sometimes, like, but you're not worried about meeting a gold digger? I'm like, no. It is actually super easy to avoid these types of people. If you just looking past the looks, you look at how they present themselves online, the kind of shit that they say, the kind of stuff, it's not hard to avoid that.
You have to listen to them when they talk.
Yeah. It is one of those things that I never thought would be true on the other side. Because like when I was broke and dating, I was like, bro, when I get money though, penthouse, 7 pool. But then you work for everything and you realize like, okay, I'm actually not looking to do that shit. And then you work for everything. You're like, oh, it's actually more complicated to do that shit than I thought it would be. And then you're like, oh, I don't want to pay taxes on this shit. It's just funny what you imagine life with finances would be. And I don't know. It's just not what I expected at all. I feel like your life has changed much, much, much more than my life has changed because you came into some kind of money. If you want me to give you an example, okay, here, your mode of transportation change,
I got what?
your location, mode of transportation
I
change.
was using cars. I'm using cars.
But
I had a motorcycle before.
did you?
Yes, I had. I had a motorcycle since 2000.
But did you have a T-Rex?
No, I didn't have a T-Rex.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No, the amount changed.
And the types, you got types. You about to like you gonna be on at sea soon, right?
No, I don't have.
You're not gonna have.
I don't have.
Look at
yacht
that
money.
smile. Look at that smile.
have yacht
This
money.
nigga lying. All right,
not,
Captain.
I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna take my piloting classes. Yes. Because it's easier to buy a plane than to buy a yacht. A yacht is a lot of money.
Fair. Okay. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The crib, like you had a crib before, but now you got like cribs with an S. You know what I mean?
No, I don't have
floors.
I got floors.
Floors on floors. You know
Backyard.
what I mean? Garages.
Forest.
Fireplace, sauna, like you know what I mean? Like you
I don't have a sauna. Calm down. It's a pool.
Wait, it was not a shed where you could walk in and steam the shit out?
No, I don't have that.
My bad. Maybe I was just dreaming.
That's the shed. You think?
There's a shed? I don't know, bro. That, you season them bitches.
Yes, of course.
That's all I'm saying.
Definitely.
Me, I have the bike that I had before, and that bike is rusty. It's rusty, it's gold, it needs a new. I haven't changed the bike. I haven't changed the place.
I sold the bike.
You know? I'm just saying.
I sold my bike.
Yeah. What about you? Because like you've had the quote unquote glow up, right? In terms of status, right? You're on. I walk around the city. I see you on billboards and shit. You know what I mean? I see you on television. You're much more recognizable here than me.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel as though the attractiveness has drawn a lot of attention towards you,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And do you feel like that it's good attention or bad attention?
It's weird attention.
Go on.
Motherfucker that didn't give a fuck about me and calling me a loser when I was in high school. Suddenly you drop in my DMs. I still remember, bitch. Sometimes disgusted because I'm like, I'm the same dude.
Yeah, but you look at me differently because I got this.
But I'm the same dude though. And I started lying, just like you. I edit videos now. Because I've seen the change from, oh, you got a YouTube channel. Yeah, let me see.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yo, facts.
Bitch, I'm the same dude that I was 5 minutes ago.
It almost makes you a bit jaded. You have so many of these strange experiences, you almost create a wall between you and new opportunities in some ways, especially socially speaking. Like if I was a very thirsty kid, I'd be quenching my thirst all the time. But because I'm like trying to protect a lot of things, it's very tough for me to be open to new people. I could honestly say the amount of people I meet now is like 95 to like maybe 99% less than when I was before this shit. I have people message me like, are you married? It's like the first message they send. To me, my defenses are up all the time. I'm pushing away from everything. And it's just so funny because I thought it would be the opposite. I thought it would be like, parties, yo, nigga, what's yo? And I realized now it's like, no, this is like a fence I have. I have my people and that's it. Y'all can ask anybody who's ever seen me out, and I be out at like salsa events, okay? If you see me somewhere, I'm in a corner like this.
Yes. 100%.
I'm in a corner like this all the time. I when I go out, I try to make myself smaller every time. How many times have we ran events and I disappear? I'm in a corner somewhere.
You tell me. There's events that we sponsor.
Yup.
And I'll host a bitch. And while I'm hosting, I see the dude, but I know how he is. I'm not gonna be like, look, people. No, I'm like, we do a slight nod.
Yeah.
And that's all people are not gonna know.
You know, it's like a girl, she's up online, okay? And let's say she looked really cute and she posts in thirst traps. Maybe she's happy with all this new attention, but then she realized after the fact, the kind of men who are attracted by her thirst traps are not the kind of... So is she more attractive because she posts in thirst traps?
Yes. But is she attracted to what she...
Yeah.
Is she attracted to what she's attracting? No.
Right. It's just to be aware, like good looks, they can be a double-edged sword depending on how you get it. The more attractiveness, like how you got your attractiveness matters in terms of what you're attracting. That's all I want to say. That's it. I thought it was interesting, though.
It is interesting.
I didn't agree with him, but I thought it was like, it's a refreshing
it's
take.
Just you have to put context into it. I understand what he's saying, but he's just taking in consideration only one part of what he said. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, listen, we'd love to hear from you guys. What do y'all think? You guys just, Abba Preach just yapping. We'd love to hear your opinions.